Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Gears 12, and it's that time again to review another album that I missed in 2013 so far this year. Today I'm reviewing the 2013 release from Children of Bodom entitled Halo of Blood. I only missed this album by basically a month. I actually had the album ready and I was going to review it at the time of its release, but other stuff came up, but I'm here today. So I got some notes so I don't forget some of the things that I want to talk about in this review. The first thing I do want to talk about getting into this album is that I know that some fans of the band was not pleased with their last album, and I heard some of the material from their past, the last album, and I wasn't really a fan of that, really. I'm more of a fan of their older stuff, and when I heard this album and I was hearing it was going to come out, I was kind of going, is it going to be like their last album, or is it going to be like their past stuff, which I really love, and I really got into that, and that's where I basically learned about this band and really just fell in love with that sound of them back in the day. And I gotta say that I am pleased with this album. This album reminds me of their past stuff, and it really brings back the memories of me first discovering this band. Halo of Blood really showed me that this band still has it in them. This melodic death metal sound, this very unique, aggressive sound coming from this band, and I enjoyed this album. It really was a great album to listen to, and I had no issues with putting it on repeat because it was quite a ride. So the thing I really wanted to talk about was the fact that there is some black metal type stuff in this album, and Children of Bodom have been known to experiment a little bit here and there with some of their past releases, but I noticed on this album that there are some black metal type moments where some of the riffing, some of the arrangements have some black metal elements. Now, I'm not saying that there's a song in here that's strictly black metal. I'm saying is they're trickling in it a little bit throughout this album, and I'm personally, a personal opinion, not a fan of black metal, but I did enjoy that they were doing some mixing a little bit here and there, trying to mix some stuff up, because it really just added something else to the album instead of a constant listening to melodic death metal. So that was interesting to listen to that. But overall, my favorite thing about this album is always the melodies, the guitar melodies. I mean, I'm just blown away by what Children of Bodom puts out in their past stuff on this album, because there's some really interesting guitar melodies that really caught my attention and made me go, I want to learn how to get to this level of musicianship to where I can write guitar stuff like this. But unfortunately, I probably will never get there. But I was impressed with the guitar melodies and overall just the sound of this album. I was just impressed of the production and how these songs were put together, and I fairly enjoyed this album, like I've been saying. The thing that I really enjoyed also, besides the guitar melodies, is basically just the songs in general, because there were some songs that had the more aggressive side that was just punching in your face and keep moving and keep going, and there's some other songs that kind of pull it back a little bit and have some more simplistic riffs but still giving you that little punch, and you're going to wait for it, because when the solo hits and then the keyboard solo hits, or they're dueling against each other, then you know that that's what's going to happen. Because I enjoy that there's that little bit of mixture, because I feel like if this album was a continuous punch in the face all the time of just relentless melodic death metal with that black metal elements, and there was no pulling back in places, then maybe I would have felt different about this album. But I like that there's that variety there. I do want to talk about some of the different things and songs that really caught my attention, which the opener, Waste of Skin, which was an interesting opener, because the first little bit I was like, this is a good opener. Is it going to keep up? Is it going to hold up? And it did. I love the opening because it really reminded me of some of the past releases of Bodom stuff. Like, it was just like, this is very Children of Bodom sounding opener. And the other thing I wrote down about that on the notes is that the amazing guitar and keyboard solo on that track, closer to the end of the track, is an amazing guitar solo and amazing keyboard solo that really fit along next to each other very well, and it really fits the song. And it was just like an eye-opener, like, whoa, because at first, when I was first listening to this album in its entirety back in June, I was blown away by that, and when I was put it on, when I started up the album again a couple days ago, getting ready for this review, I was like, it caught me off guard again. I'm like, oh yeah, there's that solo, and then here comes the keyboard solo, blowing me away. So it was a nice thing to get reminded of how intense the solos can get from Children of Bodom, especially on Waste of Skin. So the next song I wrote down was Dead Man's Hand on You, which had a really eerie opening with a clean guitar tone riff, and then there was a piano that went alongside it. And throughout that whole entire track, it's a pulled back song. It's really It's melodic in areas, and it's not aggressive in your face. It's more of just a pulled back, relaxing song from Children of Bodom, and I enjoyed that because that really gave me like a breather in a way. It was interesting to listen to this different side of the album than a constant getting hit with all these intense, crazy stuff in songs. So it was nice to listen to a track that was more pulled back and more simplistic for the listener to listen to. So that was pretty good that that was there. The last song I wrote down was Damage Beyond Repair, and I wrote that down because the opening riff on that song was a little bit different than some of the opening riffs on the songs before it. This opening riff for that song had this like aggressive, heavy riff that was basically made heavier with the double bass going along with it. This riff just sounded simplistic. It was on the heavy chords, and it was just like in the pocket and just going. And I enjoyed that it was a little bit different riffs because throughout this album, the openings of songs, they're a little bit switched up, so it's not a continuous, the same sounding riff, and then it gets a little bit different within the songs. The openers of most of the songs in this album are different, and so you can distinguish in between what song is which, so I like that. Let's get to the sound of the band. So unfortunately, as I am bad with names, I'm not going to mention names, but I'll be mentioning what they did on the album, their names in the description, so if that makes you mad, I'm sorry, but I do not want to butcher anybody's name. So, let's continue on. The vocals and the lead guitar, you know, we know who the guy's name is. If I try to pronounce his name, I'll probably butcher it. But the vocals on this album are what you expect from Children of Bodom. What you'd expect. Aggressive, in your face, loud, and scary sounding if you're not used to it. But I really enjoyed the vocals. It reminds me of the past stuff. Lyrically, this album is varied as Children of Bodom albums have been, and I just enjoyed that. I enjoyed the vocals, and I was just not, I wasn't expecting bad vocals, so as we all know, there's always good vocals from Children of Bodom. At least for the most of the stuff that I've heard from the band. So, to the guitars. The rhythm, guitar tone, and the rhythm playing. The rhythm guitar tone is what you kind of expect from Children of Bodom. You don't really expect them to change up their guitar tone completely because then it would lose that unique sound from Children of Bodom if they would change up their guitar tones, and it would sound like a different band. And so, this unique sound that they have captured, they wouldn't want to change that, but it's what you expect from Children of Bodom. It's heavy, it's aggressive, and it works well with all the different type of riffs that are on this album. And the rhythm playing is intense. It's aggressive. When the song is expecting a heavy, down-picking riff that kind of reminds you a little bit of black metal-esque and the melodic death metal, it is in the pocket, it's crazy, and the production on the rhythm guitar and the playing is just epic. It's what you'd expect from Children of Bodom, and the playing is just intense and crazy when it needs to be, and when it's pulled back a little bit, it's good. Lead playing, the guitar solos are intense. They are crazy. They are Children of Bodom. What did you expect? Did you expect bad guitar solos? That's not happening here. Great guitar solos. I loved every guitar solo on this album. And the keyboards. The keyboards are what you'd expect on this album. They give that little extra element throughout each of the tracks. And the keyboard solos are intense as well, alongside with the guitar solos. They work well together. They sound good together. And yeah, that's all you can really say. What do you expect? Bad keyboard stuff? No. That's not happening here. Bass guitar was turned up in areas I like that. I could hear the bass guitar. I can figure out, okay, this is the bass. I can clearly hear it over, under the guitars. I can hear it. It's all good. So no problems with bass. The drum work on this album, I felt it was very good in a lot of areas. There were some spots that, maybe I'm just thinking, maybe it's just me, maybe it's like, oh, maybe he could have did something different here, something different here. But overall, I love the drum sound. It's heavy and it's aggressive, and it's what you'd expect from Children of Bodom. So, a drum sound, like I've been saying about all the sound of the band. Did you expect bad? I mean, no, but it's just like I enjoyed the drum sound, and I enjoyed the majority of the drums on this album. There's no really gripes. I'm just like thinking in my head, well, maybe something could have been different here, something could have been different here. But overall, the drum quality and the drum sound and the drum playing is pretty good in my opinion. So, no real gripes there, just me thinking as usual. So, overall, I enjoyed this album. Halo of Blood really showed me some of the classic stuff that I enjoyed from Children of Bodom, and reminds me more of the fact that this band can continue to put out great melodic death metal albums with some little black metal stuff in it like we got on Halo of Blood. So overall, this album's amazing in my personal opinion. It's really good. It really showcased to me that Children of Bodom is one of those bands that's going to stand out and it's going to continue to stand out. So I give this album a 8.5 out of 10. A great album from Children of Bodom. I'm ready to see what they're going to be doing next. So thank you guys for watching. That's the review. If you liked the video and you liked the review, click the like button. And if you like me and you want to see more, click my name or subscribe to see more. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.